From the snow-capped Valhalla Mountains to the depths of the Slocan Lake, the Kootenays are brimming with adventure. With a historic economy based on mining, logging, and transportation, the Kootenays developed an increasingly diverse culture over time.
So the fact you've got a ski hill less than half an hour away and mountain biking a lake, it's pretty hard to beat.
The way of life in the Kootenays is a beacon for many and has drawn thousands to the area over the last several decades who want to embrace outdoor adventure, the natural beauty of the land, and pristine environments.
I like a lot of things, but I love the location, the mountains and lake. Living on a lake is pretty nice, it's pretty sweet. So nature, getting out in nature, and the second thing is the arts community that we have here, and restaurants, lots of restaurants.
The Kootenays is home to one of the best recreational outdoor sports areas in the world, with world-renowned skiing, mountain biking, and hiking. People from all places flock to get even a fractional experience of the perfect conditions of the area. Tourism is a major aspect of the economy for the area, but logging still remains a major source of income for the Kootenays. Although the Kootenays have a flourishing environment, droughts and wildfires commonly caused by global warming threaten the state of our home. Recent wildfire sizes have skyrocketed, with increasingly threatening infernos arising every year.
We've been suppressing fires actively now around communities as humans for well over 100 years, depending on how you look at it. And so that has resulted in kind of an unnatural state of our forests, especially when you combine it with logging and other commercial activities. And so that state of affairs has basically meant that our wildfires are now more intense in nature and last longer and get bigger. And that doesn't create the same restorative stuff that wildfires in the past maybe used to do.
We've been involved in some massive wildfires that don't seem to be common. And I know I had this experience this summer working on a fire called the Sparks Lake Fire, and flying over it in a helicopter and seeing that it's actually burning right beside the Elephant Mountain fire. So to be flying along and seeing that this massive fire we're working on last year is burning right beside that fire was a little bit depressing.
I would say the main difference I've seen from an actual fire suppression perspective and the way that experience happens is when I first got engaged in this, I spent most of my time in the forest, and we were out there working to manage fire on a landscape level. The way that the triage works nowadays, we spend most of our time in communities, and that's a completely different experience, of course, with the flammable fuels, and of course just the entire anxiety and trauma around having communities involved with that stuff. So
this has caused a resilient fire mitigation system to be created to protect and help citizens to protect themselves from the threat of wildfires. Due to more people moving to the area, housing skyrocketed to prices that have never been seen before in the Kootenays. This occurrence has caused life in the Kootenays to be more of a struggle and a lot less affordable for locals and anyone wanting to live in the area.
So right now we don't have much for sale. So the prices get pushed up because as soon as something comes up for sale, a lot of people just jump on it. So the inventory levels have a big part to play. From it being a balanced market when I first got into it, to going imbalanced for the benefit of a seller's market, so very, very low inventory, but there are quite a few people coming from out of town, Okanagan, Lower Mainland, Alberta, kind of all over. Where the prices are much higher and the real estate is much more expensive there, those buyers are definitely willing to pay more.
With these major threats to our home, we need our leaders to act on these issues.
I'm really passionate about equity, making sure that we have an equitable society, making sure that we have a society where everyone has access to things like housing, education, healthcare, childcare is really important. We're conducting ourselves on the land, whether that's resource extraction like forestry or mining, whether that's tourism, all of those pieces, those all have an impact on the land, and I think our government has really taken huge steps forward in that regard, and always with First Nations, and making sure that we're building those relationships through this process and really within true reconciliation.
Even with all this, is it enough? Because our parents and grandparents came here and stayed here for a reason.
My favorite part about living in the Kootenays is probably just like all the, I don't know, we have such easy access to the mountains, and like skiing, biking. It's so easy just to go out of your backyard and just go enjoy the mountains.
Like community and family based, and it's just like a really pretty place. Like there's a lot of outdoor things you can do, lots of like mountain bike trails, like the rail trail.
I think the magic of the area is a combination of, the beauty that surrounds us, but also the people. We have so many, creative, passionate, interesting people that are really there to support their community.
Really nice about how everybody's a community, and how we can just go into our backyards and then play in the mountains. It's not like we have to go out hours for skiing or biking, it's just in our backyards.
My favorite part about living in the Kootenays is probably all the outdoor activities that I'm able to do, and that we have a smaller community, making it easier to connect with people and move around.
Even with the recent tribulations, the Kootenays is still an absolutely beautiful area. Although it's easy to disregard, remember to respect the land you stand upon, and it will respect you back.